Day 14, down south. We have put, I couldn't even guess how many miles on the Suburban being down here. It's a 600-mile trip down. And since we've been here, how many miles have we put on this thing?
I have no idea.
Have we put 1,200 miles on it?
Since we've been here?
Yes. I mean, you put 230 on the other day alone.
Yeah, we're probably closing in on 2,000 miles.
So my mother has a pool, and typically it's open by this time, but not this year. So the kids love to swim, and my sister is taking us all to a hotel so the kids can go in the pool. And then we'll have game night after their swimming fest. Now, one of the things that we have about swimming in public is because most people are not modest. So that can be an issue. We'll see how it goes at the pool. Usually when they go to a hotel, they go swimming really early, but that's like when my sister comes up and they go stay at the hotel with her, they go swimming early in the morning. People aren't out there. But that's going to be this afternoon that we're going, because we're not going out of town. We're still in town. We're just going to a hotel for their pool.
We're in the country.
So we'll see how it goes. When we talk about modesty, too often we narrow in on just the female. But modesty is also for the male too. And we've always taught our children to, when they're in a situation, you know, if they are going out to swim, and obviously we've already talked about how we try to avoid situations where they're exposed to other people's immodesty, but when they are able to go swimming, they themselves need to stay modest. So in all these years that we've raised boys, 99% of the time they have always worn shirts to swim in and shorts down to their knees. And I know that's hard for some people to understand, well, what's the big deal? But just look around you and see what is acceptable, see what is exposed, and see how far we've come from keeping anything personal and private in our lives, and what damage that has done to the morality of individuals and to our culture. It's quite just a visual will give you an understanding of the importance of why we have taught modesty to our children, and not just for me as a woman, but to them as males.
One right there.
Yeah.
Can I push that one?
Yeah.
I'm going down.
Yeah. See there, it tells you what floor you're on. Exactly where you want it to be.
Which way?
Ron will have to let us know.
Which way?
I do. Don't mind me forgetting.
In here.
Yeah, open.
Now, don't go rushing up to the water.
All right.
Turtles swim faster than that. Smile at Mama. Keep dog tapping. There you go. One of the things we've been finding challenging here is to know what to do with our food scraps. You know, I am in such a habit of saving any scrap of food for our animals because we have something that will eat it. Even to the point that, you know, I save potato peels and carrot peels that I boil them for our chickens as a supplement to their ration. But my sister nor my mother, though they are avid recyclers, they do not have animals that you could give scraps to, nor do they have a compost pile. So what I found myself doing for the first few days is, you know, I would gather scraps and I would put them on a plate because I just couldn't make myself put them in the garbage. And my sister has enough animals outside. She's got foxes and she's got deers that she really probably doesn't want me putting the food out there for them to encourage them. So I went against the grain and started throwing stuff away. And we don't throw a lot of food away, but like the peels and stuff is the big thing. I think the biggest thing that was a waste was I made a couple peanut butter sandwiches for Ron on the road during one of our stops down here. He'd wanted some so he could just grab them. If he got hungry, he won't have to stop again. But he ended up not eating them. So for 5 days, I left them in their bag on the counter because I just couldn't make myself throw them away. And about 5 days after being here, Saya said to me, when he brought the kids had eaten and he brought their plates in. And I had scraps, about like that left on the plate. And I made the comment, I said, oh, I just can't bear to throw this stuff away. And he said, well, why don't you freeze it? And I said, well, that would be nasty. I mean, we can refrigerate food, eat it a little bit, but that would be nasty to freeze it and then warm it up. He said, no, to take home to the animals. And I said, that was so obvious and so brilliant, It's like, obviously I couldn't think of it. So my sister had one of these big bags. Let's see if I can turn this around here. She had one of these big bags, and you can see the peanut butter sandwiches in there, but just little scraps of stuff that would normally go to the animals, stale bread crust that didn't get ate. I've got some peels getting ready to go in there, and when we leave, we will grab the bag and take it home and keep it in the cooler till however long it takes to dispense the scraps in there. So just little things like that you don't think about, and you get into such a habit, or you get maybe even a conviction that because there's so much waste. And my sister lives alone and my mother lives alone, so they don't have the food waste, or the food possibility of the food waste that we do, because we go through 5 times, 6 times more than they eat, or more, because we have all guys. So again, peels and all those good things, of course, anyone that raises chickens or goats know that that's where they go. So that was one hurdle solved, though, because I've got 2 more weeks to go at least, and I won't be tormented over my scrap pile. One reason we've been here so long, excuse me, is Ron's been working on our house down here. We didn't sell it when we moved, so we still have it, and it needs a lot of work, so we're trying to get that work done so we can get it on the market. But they're going to go work on the roof today. We're starting to put a new roof on. We're going to put half of it on while we're down here this trip, and hopefully get down here in the next 6 or 8 weeks from the time we leave to finish up the work. So Josiah's taking the camera today for insurance purposes while you're doing the roof. Just in case, It's always good to be prepared.
Is that so you can prove it was really an accident? All right, so it's so true. We are so trained for our environment. In wood stoves, we have our security fences up, our protective fences. Don't let the kids near the fire. We've trained them early. Don't get near water. Don't let rags get near the stove. And the funny thing is if you watch certain shows, like I've seen it on the Waltons and I've seen it on Little House, I've seen it on just other shows where they're trying to bring across that these people interact with these items, these tools all day long. And especially when it comes to the wood stove, you will see them cooking and they'll toss their hot pad on it. And I'm sitting there and my family's sitting there thinking, yeah, you know what, you have never dealt with a wood stove before. And it makes us laugh. Well, here I am. I'm at my sister's. I'm making me a cup of tea on the electric stove, and I had a towel. Now, in the process, and in all fairness, I turned off the tea water, poured my tea, and I was making popcorn in the microwave for my guys. And I had to run upstairs for a second. I came back down, and I was getting ready to go downstairs into the basement when I made sure that I had turned the stove off, which I had. But here's what I was shocked that I had done. I saw this right here on the stovetop. You notice glass top stove. And that was the burner that I had been warming up my tea water in that pan. So I picked it up and checked that out. I was shocked. You know, again, it's just we're such creatures of habit, and I don't have my safety walls up here. I don't work with this tool, this type of tool, every day. It's totally different than mine, where all my safety modes are there. I don't know, how many days is this now? We're over 2 weeks, and I am still, it's like, yeah, like I never ever encountered these things before. I don't know what my problem is. Is it age? Is it carelessness? Is it words that we can't repeat in our home? I don't know what it is, but I'm finding it more humorous every single day. And thank God that this was humorous to me, because of the potential of that it might not have been humorous. It could have been something very bad.